it's a mad world out there.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the Democratic ticket?
Ooh, that Biden. Oh, dude.
Yo, wasn't the Cardi B interview a hard-hitting piece of journalism?
That was the only interview he's done in like months. He picks Cardi B.
I mean, her nails were scary. I could not stop thinking. As absurd as the interview was, besides her nails just, I could not focus past it.
Dude, I don't think she's human though.
How does she get on her phone like that? Like, does she have like some like child slaves that actually go and touch her phone for her?
She has her demon doing all her texting.
that same chick that's massaging Bill Clinton in that picture.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy.
But
they're saying, I mean, they're like, "Whoa, dude, she was 22." I was like, she's obviously been groomed for a number of years.
He's not the kind of guy that would mess around with young women. He's never shown that kind of behavior before, Mac.
But dude, can you believe that Biden is their guy? I mean, it's unbelievable.
11 years old. Talk to me before we leave, okay? And by the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Are you 15? Are you 15?
Almost. Hold on. 4.5, almost 5. All right. I love her then. Tell her I love her. Keep going. You're going to stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have Daddy put his left hand in the Bible if he can. No serious guys. Thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful thing. That's how all my children let you come here.
There we go.
You got it? Okay.
And the people in the back, you can spread out a little bit, like in that gentleman can spread out a little bit.
Hold the Bible.
Everybody else is looking forward to it.
Okay, got some more family. Come on in. Yeah, we got a crowd. Sure. Okay.
I like kids better than people.
Okay, right hand now. Here's the official.
Can I go with just alone?
Dad's going to stand pretty close.
My dad used to say, his granddaughter said, one, take care of the pop. She's entitled. She's entitled. Listen to her. That's right, everybody. Don't tell me. Here we go. Here we go. Can I have a picture with just the kids?
Absolutely.
Forget the adults. Come on. You get right in there. Come on. Spread your legs, you're going to be frisked.
Nice to meet you.
How are you, beautiful child? How old are you, 17? Oh, 6. Stand next to me. All right? All right. Would you raise your right hand, please? It's no surprise to me why you won. Hey, are you bored yet?
You say good height?
Isn't it kind of boring? She said this is boring stuff, Mom. Did you have any other? See
All
you,
right.
beautiful child.
All right,
Just
guys.
remember, no dates or boys till you're 30 years old.
I like that. That's
30
exactly right.
years
Time
old.
to
That's
wrap
my
it up,
tip.
Jacob.
I got 4
Time to wrap it
granddaughters. Beautiful granddaughters like you guys. And guess what? Granddaughters are better than daughters. You know why? About age 12. You're just gonna butterfly bed. And you're gonna walk in and that's when your dad will see a snake in the bed. And you're gonna say, "Dad." And you ain't black. They don't have to.
I mean, as soon as, and then apparently Tulsi Gabbard, or Gabbard, she wasn't even invited.
I like Gabbard.
I mean, the fact that she wasn't the nominee tells you everything, you know?
I mean, she's definitely way better than the other one that they have.
Prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
this Kamala Harris. Did you see the footage of her where she looked completely different, like days apart, like a TV appearance? She comes on and it's a different person.
you think it's a clone or something, or some kind of like
I'm
doppelganger?
inclined to say, because dude, the teeth were different, the eyes were different.
Well, hopefully this one's better,
I-
because her past one's shitty.
Yeah, so I guess she's just a big old hoe, right?
That's what the internet's saying. I never got with her, but that's what the internet's saying. She has there's a lot I don't like about her, but she does have a certain air, shall we say. Yeah, I don't know the different versions anymore. I just know the one that used to put a lot of like innocent people in jail for things that she was doing, and then she would joke about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know which version was doing that. Both.
Yeah, both I think. But yeah, she totally has that hoe vibe. Like she just looks like, you know?
She does. She does. I'm trying to put my finger on what exactly it is.
But then how about the convention for the Democrats? It was the production quality was just like laughable. I'm like, it was like some bad like 90s shit.
Dude, I couldn't stop thinking about Cobra Commander the entire time.
I am Supreme Cobra Commander. You call your petty bureaucrats, officials, and authorities. You will kneel before Cobra or face my wrath.
I know I keep saying that, but the reporters with the masks, it's ridiculous, man.
Your second question was, I couldn't hear you. Can you take it up because I cannot hear you?
I'll just speak louder, sir.
Oh, okay, because you want to be politically correct. Go ahead.
No, sir, I just want to wear the mask.
Go ahead.
And with the room being empty with the masks and having like a bunch of flags and poles where there should have been people.
Oh my God, man. I mean, it's like at the baseball games. Have you seen the cardboard cutouts of people in the stands?
I have not seen that.
It's actually a thing. It's a real thing.
You know, I mean, it would have been better than having Billie Eilish, because she was also the Democratic. She gave an address, basically what we're doing now, an address. Except even worse than me, she stammered through it. No, she wasn't that bad. She's just a kid. I mean, I heard that the devil really is good with music, and I believe it.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, man, my phone played a nasty trick on me the other day. So I'm on my scooter and I'm listening to some music, and I'm listening to some old school U2. Okay.
Nice.
Old shit. Joshua Tree, Octung Baby. I'm listening to that shit, right? Then all of a sudden, I hear a new song by U2 that I haven't ever heard before. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, but it's really good.
Huh.
And I'm like, oh shit. And then I go and I look at my phone, and it's from that new creepy album, the one that they like. It's the virus that gets into your. I didn't download it. It just put itself in my phone.
Oh yeah, that's what their albums do. They just implant themselves.
Yeah, so I got rid of it once. I didn't even try to listen to it because I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to anything that's implanting itself in my phone. All right, I don't care if an album's free, I'll still give it a shot. But you at least got to have me go hit download, right?
Yeah.
You can't just hijack my fucking device.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna tell you, man, and the thing that bothers me about it is the album cover is creepy.
Really? What is it of?
It's a dude, and he's like hugging what looks like a young boy, like at his waist. He's like,
oh man,
it's creepy, man. I don't like it, and I don't want to think anything bad about you too, but I didn't like the album cover. I don't like it's implanting itself in my phone, but I gotta say, it's really good album.
See that I fell out of love with U2 as soon as I learned about the One charity, Bono's One charity, which I guess he was going for irony because he gives apparently less than 1% of the money to the charity. And so I learned that, and I see who he's always hobnobbing with, and I'm like, dude, this guy's is scum, you know?
Yo, did he make it over to Epstein Island?
What's that? I think probably, yeah. But the thing is, I feel like he probably was replaced. That's not the real Bono from back in the day.
It doesn't look like him, right?
No.
The old one was like really sort of intense looking.
Yeah.
And much darker features, kind of more set in eyes.
Yeah.
The new one, he's different but same.
Different but same. But dude, I was also bummed to learn that the Edge and his guitar sound is just a fucking pedal. I thought he was doing something more than that.
But it's still dope. It's a combination.
Yeah, no, it's dope. I mean, he like created his own sound.
It's the best part. It's the best part of the band. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying Bono's not a good vocalist. It's great. It's a great band. They're a great band. But he's excellent. Edge is like that guitar is like transcendent.
Mm-hmm. But then I was like, oh, I should just get one of those pedals and I'll sound like the Edge.
Which pedal is it? I want to get that shit. I bet it's hard. I bet it's hard. I bet mine wouldn't sound like that if I started fucking with it. It would sound like wonky Edge, dull Edge.
Dull Edge. But that reminds me. Did you ever hear about what Jim Morrison said about the future of music and how it would just be electronic?
Makes sense, man. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah, he said that it would just be like one person with their like computer just making music, and that
types of music indigenous to this country are the black music, blues, and the kind of folk music that was brought over from Europe, and I guess they call it country music, or the kind of West Virginia high and lonesome sound. Those are the two main streams of root American music. There might be others, I don't know. But it looks like, and like 10 years ago, what they called rock and roll was kind of a blending of those two forms. And I guess what's happening now is that rock is kind of dying out, and everyone is going back to the roots again. Some are going back into country, and some are going back into basic blues. I guess in 4 or 5 years, the new generation's music will be, it'll have a synthesis of those two elements and some third thing that'll be entire. Maybe it'll be, it might rely heavily on electronics, tapes. I can kind of envision maybe one person with a lot of machines, tapes, and electronic setups, singing or speaking and using machines. I used to think that.
But the sad thing is, I was talking to a buddy of mine, a musician friend, and he was saying that like without the ability to like get together and jam, it's almost like, what's the point? Like to put music out for people to be like, oh, okay, I'll like it, but it's like ultimately, what's the point? I mean, okay, yeah, maybe you'll make some money, potentially, maybe. Or maybe you'll get it in a movie or a TV show. That's pretty exciting to think about, right? But I don't know. It's like, unless you're having like the vibe of like creating something like, I know, because when I've jammed with people, like we've jammed, and for me, it's a whole nother experience.
I mean, so many things could not have been created on their own, like with just one artist, if you think about it, especially with music. I mean, think about Dark Side of the Moon. Just, even if one guy is a genius, you can't do it alone. There needs to be collaboration, and I think there needs to be physical proximity.
Oh yeah, you got to feel the vibes.
Yeah, I agree.
This my buddy was saying how, like, you know, especially with all this COVID shit, like, you know, his you know, musician friends, they don't want to get together. Their wives are like, no, you can't go, you know.
Are people recording albums with their masks on?
Dude, the next level is going to be when we start seeing people in the TV shows and the movies wearing masks, because it's coming.
It's in some commercials I've seen.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's disturbing, man. The shit's not going away. Every time I go out, I feel like, oh, it's gonna get better. It's gonna be less. I feel like it was a little less the last time. No, it's intense, man.
Yeah, so we'll have to tell folks how we found ourselves in an area. We got together last week, and we were in Newport Beach, and it was no mask going on. It was great. People, you know, not social distancing.
I mean, it was like the whole thing never happened.
Yeah. It was like going back to the good old days.
Yeah.
Just like 6 months ago?
I know. We didn't see anybody drop dead in front of us.
Nah.
Nobody going to respiratory failure?
No. But I have to, I like pointing out to people around here in the Hollywood area, I'm like, because there's so many homeless people. It's like, why are we not stepping over dead homeless people? Right?
I mean, I don't get how people are not.
Where are all the dead people? We have all these cases. Every day I get notice of all these fucking cases.
You know what? They must be stacked up in all the closed businesses. Because I don't know where else you put them, because they're not around.
Yeah.
They're not in the cemeteries.
But, dude, have you been seeing all these riots going on that these Democrat politicians want to keep calling them peaceful protesters, but they're burning businesses down. They're crossing over into regular neighborhoods. So they talked about this shit months ago, man. How they said they were going to do this.
Yeah, I've been seeing some things online that make me think that there's some element that's trying to incite these riots.
Oh yeah, it's called the Soros-paid agitators that are going in, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna just start burning shit down. You know, these Marxist groups.
Yeah, I feel like it's deeper than that, though, man. Like, there are people spreading rumors about the cops killing people when it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I feel like sometimes I feel like it's working both sides. This evil force is working both sides of the argument in order to inflame the situation.
Oh yeah, totally. I agree.
That's why it's hard to figure out exactly, like, because it's working both sides. There's something like really going on here.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to propel this into a worse and worse situation.
Yeah, totally. I see that and I feel it. It's like, but I was interested to see today that apparently like citizen militias are starting to form to like battle Antifa and these rioters.
Yeah.
And so they're like recruiting citizens and stuff. So
shit. Did you join up yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting to see where it happens in LA, and then I'll go and join up.
So me and you can join. It'll be like 2020 version of Stripes. Instead of the regular army, it's like the Civil War army.
Oh man! So would you join a militia and lend your expertise?
I mean, I don't know.
So what do you think, man? Because the cops are standing down. So where do you see it going?
I mean, what I see are some really bad people that are going to capitalize on that, and I see it getting a lot worse because now I hear about 911 response times in areas being like an hour.
Yeah, I've heard the 911 operators, they basically just tell the people, they're like, yeah, they're not going to come. You want to defund the police? They're not showing up.
telling you, man, people are going to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I'm hearing is, so they want to, just like Obama said, remember he said in a speech that he wanted a civilian army. And that's what we're seeing now.
Civilian army.
Yeah. And so this BLM shit, I don't know. It's this. It has been said that every emperor and ruler throughout history, there was a document that kept track of, maybe not all of them, but a vast majority of them were asked, how did they get their power, or their rule over everyone. And so they say that there was this basically an angel of light appeared to them, and they all say this shit. They say that this angel of light appeared and basically granted them power and rule if they ruled in his favor, basically, and lived by his rules and stuff. And it's pretty wild to think about, And then you combine that with all of the big musicians talking about how they signed the deal with the devil, going back to Robert Johnson,
I know, man. And it is and they definitely, because there are certain, Bob Dylan's in it. He went on a strange trip when he was young, and his music was kind of a little bit whack before he went on this trip. And then he came back from this trip and he was on fire.
The exact same story of Robert Johnson. Apparently he played horribly. His guitar playing was shit. Everyone was like, dude, you should just give up. And so he went away, and I think it was just went away for a week or two. Comes back, and he's doing the most amazing shit anyone's ever seen.
So he went to some kind of special camp.
Yeah.
He went to guitar. I don't think they had guitar camp back then.
Yeah, it was some sort of getaway.
Man, Bob Dylan was the same way, because he didn't even really have a style. He was just sort of ripping people off. He wasn't even really an artist.
Yeah, he was ripping off, what's his name? Who was the folk guy? This Machine Kills Fascists. I love that.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I would stand to reason that Lucifer is a great musician.
Yeah, man. I wish. I mean, I'm not saying.
It's like in the Pick of Destiny. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Oh, I want to watch that one again.
Oh yeah, that's a good one with Dave Grohl playing the devil.
So would you sell your soul for to get triple your music abilities?
I mean, just triple? I don't know, but
dude, I would do it for 10% better.
I don't know. I would have been more inclined to do it when I was younger. Now I'm like, I don't know, this music business, you know.
Yeah, now there's no money in it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you can't even tour.
Seriously.
Like what's the musician gonna do now?
Speaking of touring musicians, did you see Van Morrison? I always liked Van Morrison, and he came out against the coronavirus pseudoscience.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, we got to get back to having these packed houses. This is bullshit."
It's about fucking time, man.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure he'll be banned in no time.
I just can't believe people don't want to get back to living life. Like even if it was more dangerous than it is, I feel like people should still be like, you know what? It's been months, guys. We can't fuck around like this anymore. We're wasting time. It's been a whole summer.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are doing it, but it scares me how many people just kind of just fully embrace the enslavement, you know?
I mean, if you had told me as a kid you would have told me you took a whole summer from me for this shit, a whole summer, which when at that age, that's a quarter of your life.
Yeah.
You've just taken that's like a 25-year prison sentence. You've just taken from me with this fucking nonsense. I would sue. If I were a kid, I would sue.
But dude, I mean, have you been seeing these kids? Some kids are going back to school already, and like.
Yeah, but it's not regular school though, dude. They're like going to like the internet school.
The ones that go to school, they're like going to prison school.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
And then you got these teachers, the ones that are doing the virtual school. You have these teachers that are like making parents sign things saying that they won't look at what the kids are doing in their virtual class.
I mean. That doesn't speak very highly of your product when you're encouraging.
I know, it's wild.
I don't, man. If I'm, being a parent now, I gotta hand it to people. This is some new challenge.
Yeah.
This is some new shit. I wouldn't be prepared. I'm not prepared to be a parent anyway, but I would not be prepared for this shit.
Yeah, it's really awful. And I posed the question, like, okay, if these kids aren't going to go to school, hopefully they don't still have to get these fucking vaccines, like the flu shot and whatnot. Or are they just going to be, because they want everyone taking all the vaccines they can shovel it and, stab everybody with? It's like.
My guess is they're not going to give up on trying to get people vaccines. I think they're making some money from them, and I think they're aiming to make some more money.
So, yeah, do you think they're going to, force it on everybody or what? They're going to say you can't fly, you can't travel, you can't go to work, you can't go in a grocery store if you don't have your certificate of vaccination ID. COVID.
I mean, it could potentially go there. Like, it could even be worse than that. There's an interesting book called it's by Margaret Atwood called Oryx and Crake. And it takes place in the future where corporations and governments are in like cahoots, and they're doing evil, nefarious shit, making a bunch of bioweapons. And so these bioweapons get out and they just they infect and spasticate like most of the world. And so pretty much the only safe places to be are like basically when you work at the companies, you live inside these like plastic company bubbles. And so everybody works at the company, you live in this like sort of company town. And if you want to be in there, you have to do all this stuff and get all like probed, vaccinated all the time. And if you go out at all, then they like really probe you. If you go out to the outer world where like the ruffians are, where the unvaccinated sorts are, when you come back, you got to get like extra probing.
Right. So it's like the Morlocks and the Eloy?
Yeah. And so eventually, they're a really bad bioweapon. One of the kids cooks up a really nasty bioweapon. And that does it for good. So it's a real sweet hoot of holler of a book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And Oryx and Craig, it's, you know, it is a really good book though. But it is, the more I describe it and the more I talked about the story, the more of a downer it would sound.
Yeah, man. I mean, so what do you think is going to happen? What do you think we're going to see? We're already seeing burning of buildings and businesses. People, I saw a video, a dude, like, people now busting out the guns. We're now starting to see the shit go red hot. I saw a guy got shot in the face. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think we're going to be looking at for the election and after?
I mean, I'll be happy if there's an after. Let's put it that way. I mean, you know what? Like, even a just before would be nice. I mean, just getting there would be something. I mean, week to week is a new challenge for me.
So Biden will probably, obviously, he's not going to make it. You know, he's cognitively not there anymore. And so who do you think they're going to bring in there? So I guess Camilla's going to move up to be president. What I heard was that she would move up to be president, bring in Hillary as the VP, and then resign and have Hillary become president.
Okay, let me ask you this: who would you prefer, Kamala or Hillary?
Kamala. Oh yeah, undoubtedly.
I guess
she's awful, but dude, she ain't Hillary, man. Oh my God, could you imagine if Hillary were president? Right now, 3.5 years later, imagine what this fucking country would look like.
All right, what about Biden or Hillary?
Biden or Hillary?
Yeah.
I would take Biden just because I know he'd be dead in no time. But Hillary, Hillary, she's got that like demonic extended life technology going on.
All right, how about this? Biden or AOC?
I'll take AOC, I guess.
Me too. I don't mind AOC.
Just because she's better to look at.
She's not bad.
But she does, dude. She's got that crazy look, man. That's the thing about these
passion.
People. They got that crazy look in their eye.
She seems passionate to me, but I would steer clear of her, just out of respect. But that's there's a lot of passion there.
There is passion, but it's like if she could get rid of that like methed out look in her eye, he's like. It's really kind of demonic, dude. And then, I don't know, I've been seeing videos of these people that straight up look like demon-possessed people, like right out of The Exorcist. And so they're all like getting together now. The scene reminded me of like Lord of the Rings. Remember when you see like all of those like demonic creatures being formed and
So do you believe in demons?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, do you?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I've read that the word demon just means, I've heard it said that it meant wisdom, and that you can have like good and bad demons. Because I definitely associate the word demon with negative, you know.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I'm more of an angel kind of guy myself, you know.
Yeah. Although, they're kind of like angels and demons blur the line in the Bible, because there's like archangels and shit. There's a whole hierarchy.
I know. Yeah, it's really interesting.
It is. And there's the whole, and they span cultures too, because the equivalent of the sort of, the Western mythology of demon, there's a thing in the East called the Djinn.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, same kind of shit. And they're on your shoulder fucking with you, putting bad ideas in your head and influencing shit.
Yeah. You know what is really interesting? If you go and look at all the old school magician like advertisements, you know, their posters, dude, all of them have like a little demon on their shoulder, like, so supposedly that's like where they get their magic, from this demon.
I mean, I believe it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you go in, it's really, I'll put some in here, but all the different posters, many posters. You remember how like the magician posters, they were very, very
I'm gonna check some of these out. I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, dude. It's amazing how all the different ways they incorporate the demon.
Does David Blaine have it at his new poster with his balloons?
Oh yeah, dude. He's definitely possessed.
Did you see the Joe Rogan podcast with him on it?
Oh no, I didn't see that one. I gotta check that out.
He ate a frog, and then barked it up. He stabbed himself. He let Joe Rogan stab him with an ice pick in his arm. Yeah. And he drank like liters and liters of water and vomited it up into a bowl. It was good.
Yeah.
Actually, I like David Blaine. It was a really interesting podcast, but sometimes it was kind of hard to listen to because you just heard a bunch of water splittering around in his mouth. Because he kept a frog alive in his body for a good part of the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, man. I mean, just look at the guy's face. He looks very demon possessed. You know, he's like.
Yo, there's some. Would you partner up with a demon if you could do magic?
I've thought about it. I thought about it a lot because I read about this shit constantly and how would I do it? Okay. I don't know. I mean, I would want to know that I'd have certain things in place, protecting me. Like, I don't know. I would probably be too scared because they're deceivers. You know.
They are deceivers.
And that's why, I was reading something about how this one demon that is a popular one to bring up is Yoda. There's like a little. Apparently, this is where they got the Yoda character.
Does he look like Yoda?
Yeah. He's a short little green dude.
Oh shit! Because I've seen demonic little Yodas around, like these little.
Yeah. No, Aleister Crowley, talked all about him, and who was the other guy?
That's Barbara Bush's dad.
Yeah, they look alike.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. But yeah, Aleister Crowley, man. I mean, he was how he's worshipped like all through the last 100 years, practically.
They like him a lot in California, and it seems like more out here than on the East Coast. I don't know if you feel that more than I do.
Well, I think California, the people that with the scenes that are out here are more. There's a lot more occultism going on.
I was gonna say because I feel like the devil is more involved out here than he was when I lived in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think he likes the sunshine more. He's an angel of light. He needs to be.
Yeah. If he was gonna choose a city, I don't think it's gonna be the city of brotherly love. I think it's gonna be the city of angels.
Seriously. But speaking of, have you looked at New York?
I've heard some stories. I haven't seen it. I've been scared to look at video, but I've heard about what it's like there.
Dude, it's done. It's over. It's dead. I mean, I saw a video where everything, in Manhattan, blocks and blocks, miles long, upon miles, everything's just boarded up still. I mean, at least here, stuff is, they took the boards down, but there, everything is closed. And now you just have you have the bad guys roaming around out there doing crazy shit,
I've heard a lot of scary shit. It's not that bad where I live, but in some of the areas where I've seen shit really close down, there's like an aggressive element. I don't want to say homeless people. It's different than that. It's an aggressive element has come in. And I see them. They're predatory. The way they're looking around, they're looking to rob people. They're looking to follow somebody, to get into somebody's car. I can just tell they're looking for easy targets.
Yeah. And yeah, just where I'm living, I mean, I've seen their energy shift in the last year or so, where before, I could walk down the street to Trader Joe's and I would see them and it seemed like they're just doing their thing, But now you're afraid to even look at them and make eye contact because they're going to it's like in prison, you don't make eye contact with people. You keep your head down,
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, really. So I always have to, be prepped and, ready when I go out just down the street, I got to bring a little protection.
Yeah, that's not real community flavor, right?
Nah.
Because wasn't that always the worst part about being in jail, was being always worried that you were going to get shanked and jacked and having to be on edge and shit?
Yeah.
So now you're in prison in your life.
Yeah, going outside, you're in prison.
Yeah, we're in prison on the outside. And so I wonder, really, is this all worth it for some of these people? And you know what? The one thing I think is the Democratic Party, they've killed any chance for their future among young people. I think young people are never going to go near that party again because of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
They're done.
What they've exposed their party to be about, I mean, Who could share those values? That's a, like sound mind that wants to have like a peaceful life.
Man, I still consider myself liberal.
You're old school liberal. We got this neoliberalism shit. It's they're a cult, man. They're like a psychopathic, bloodthirsty cult.
I would take Nixon over the people in this Democratic Party right now.
Oh, Nixon was like an angel compared to these fuckers.
Yeah, I know. And I was really struggling to find a really bad one from history. There were many of other just commons, just the normal snakes. They would seem like total fucking heroes today.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, man. And that's why I keep I'm baffled constantly. I'm like, why are people not going after these fuckers? You know? I mean, we know where they live.
I think they're scared. I think that's not far away.
Yeah, because, I mean, you saw that one dude. Did you see the viral video of that guy, the veteran who spoke at the Sacramento City Council?
Nah, I don't think I saw that.
Where he was talking about how, his family's starving. We're now getting past the whole okay, rah rah, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. No, they're gonna take up arms because their family's literally starving. And that's really what I knew it would get to that point. And so now you're gonna see people like him that are gonna form militias, and they're gonna, and he said, he goes, we'll work with law enforcement if they're willing to, but if not, we're gonna do what we got to do.
Dude, I mean, could you imagine? It's just, and these people are not, they're law-abiding citizens. They're people who want to contribute to society and earn a living and do the regular basic shit. They're not a bunch of degenerate people who are looking to rob.
Yeah.
They just want to live their life and find a way to fit in.
Yeah.
And they're being put in that situation by their.
Yeah, he was calling out the people, whoever was on the city council was back there wearing their masks and shit. He was like, take off the mask, stop muzzling your kids. The amount of trauma that this is inflicting on kids and everybody. He was like, yeah, I've known 6 people in the last few months that have killed themselves,
Yeah.
So, people they're going to stand up. It's happening now. And it's just, part of me is like freaked. Every day I wake up and I see what's going on. I'm like, oh my God. But then part of me is entertained. It was like what George Carlin said, at one point he stopped caring and he's just, ready to watch it all go up in flames.
At a certain point, you can't be bored. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I don't have a little kid asking me, Daddy, what do you think's going to happen? And I don't have to lie to them and say, it's going to be all right.
Yeah. It's pretty freaky, man. But on another note, real quick, just to shift it, I wanted to ask you, because I was watching a video about how supposedly there are like dinosaur prints that have human prints right along with them, like suggesting that they walked at the same time, like in the same kind of, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I do know that there's a lot of archaeological record and stuff that's held as accepted. I doubt that that's true, but definitely there are signs that maybe humans are around a lot earlier than we thought. Maybe not quite that, not 65 million years ago. The dinosaurs were a really long time ago.
But how do we know that for sure? What if they're lying and they were not that long ago?
Well, it's under, if you look, they're under like eons of Earth. They're like not anywhere that's easy to find. And the only reason they ever turn up is because the Earth's been disturbed or something like that. So it's not like they're just like laying about in the desert, these fossils and stuff. It goes back. They clearly go back a long time. So,
right.
But there's.
Do you think that there's no chance that humans could have been back at that same time as well?
I don't think there's evidence of that. But but the thing is, though, is that recently it seems as though people are finding more and more evidence that people were dating back further than they thought. So, Who
I've
really
seen
knows?
stories. I've seen stories where they've now discovered it was like a microchip that they found. It was like 50 million years old or something.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'll put it in here.
Yeah. But, I do think so. We don't really know. But 60. The dinosaurs were a long time ago, like really long.
So they say that. Do you think that maybe the dinosaurs were like the dragons of myth?
I mean, there could be some dinosaurs that hung around for a while.
Yeah.
So the whole dinosaur
season, and they had ones that flew around. That like they resemble what the definition of a dragon is, right?
There's still some dinosaurs around today. We eat some of them. You get chicken. That's basically a dinosaur.
And gators, right? And crocodiles.
Yeah. So they're still around. So it's not like a clear line of distinction. But the whole dinosaur era, back when the atmosphere was way different, and it was like everything was a lot of stuff was a lot bigger back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plant life was fucking huge. So you had herbivores that were as big as a skyscraper. You know what I mean? So everything just was kind of different. The size, the scale of everything is different.
Well, yeah,